Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you didn't notice, I'm in a different location. I'm at my parents' house because I've had a big life change of something I'm dealing with recently. You've probably seen me post it on the community tab, but I hurt my foot really bad 2 weeks ago. Here it is. You'll see pillows because this is its constant position, pretty much elevated. And I thought I would share a little bit like the story of what happened with my foot and just kind of what's going on in my life right now. I haven't posted a video on my channel in like 2 weeks because this happened, literally 2 weeks ago. Today's a Friday, so 2 Fridays ago. And so my life is just like, completely turned upside down. I can't put any weight on my foot for the next 6 weeks. So I want to share with you guys what happened and just how God has been providing for me and just where I've been at kind of, I guess, mentally and with my walk with God going through this trial right now. So 2 weeks ago, I was at work on a Friday morning and I was cleaning for somebody, and I was moving something on their kitchen counter. It was like a drying rack, those are drying pads, and it had a knife on it, and I was trying to move it so I could get up on the counter to clean a window. And I moved this drying pad that had a few things on it, and one of them was a chef's knife, and I didn't think in my head I should move the knife off first and then move the drying pad. I moved it all together, and the knife fell on my left foot and cut my foot. And it was scary when it happened. My adrenaline was going, so I wouldn't say it was like super, it hurt, but it wasn't like super painful. It hurt more when I like tried to walk on it or like move, but thankfully the people I cleaned for were there at the house, her and her son, and I called for her son because her son was in the house. She was outside, and he came, and I was like, I think I cut my foot. And it was really nice because the mom and son had like all the supplies, and so the son like wrapped up my foot in gauze and in like an ace bandage and everything, so I didn't experience like it bleeding all over the place, because extremities usually bleed more, but I didn't experience that. And then it was really nice because the son, like, he had a office chair that he rolled me onto the door so that his mom could take me to the emergency room. And then I tried to walk, but I couldn't, so he had to carry me to the car, which was really nice. And I was nervous, and when I am nervous, like, I was trying to like make jokes kind of light of it because I'm embarrassed. I was embarrassed and nervous, and I felt terrible that like this happened while I was at work, and then they had to take me to the ER and do all this. But the gal I clean for is like a family friend, and so I was happy that it happened at her house because I know her well. But I was thinking in my head, like, I'm probably just gonna need a few stitches. Like, this is a bummer and I'm scared. Like, I hope it's not too bad. But like, I wasn't thinking surgery or anything like that. So then we get to the ER, and I was at the ER from probably 11 in the morning till 6 at night. It was a long time, and I was doing okay. I was getting a little lightheaded, but I ate a little bit of something. And then when I got triaged with the nurse, I started getting like more lightheaded and feeling like I was gonna pass out, which was surprising because it wasn't the pain. I think it was just like the anxiety and the adrenaline and all of that going on. And mind you, like, my cut in my foot is probably about that long, and then maybe, I don't know, about maybe that long, and then deep, maybe, I don't even know, this much deep. When I looked at my foot, I was like, oh, that's kind of a bad cut, but I didn't think, it wasn't like this huge cut. Like, multiple people have asked me, like, did I have to pull the knife out of my foot? No, I did not. Like, it just fell on the ground, and so it wasn't really deep. Maybe that deep, I don't even know, maybe that deep, 1/4 of an inch or something, 1/2 inch, I don't know. Maybe not 1/2 inch. I don't even know because I didn't look at it for very long. Anyways, by the time I finally get back into the room for the doctor to look at my foot and everything, he said, can you move your big toe? And I could barely. It was like, so these are my toes. This is my big toe. I was like, I barely could move it up. It like took all my strength, and it hurt really bad. I'd have to be like to try to move my big toe, and I couldn't. And so the ER doc was like, you might have cut a tendon in your foot. And so, like, for example, I can't really show you, well, I could show you, but if you were to bend your toes, you'll see like this tendon that runs along where your big toe is, like up to your ankle. That's the tendon that I ended up cutting. So they put a fiberglass splint on my foot. I'll try to put a picture up here if I can, and sent me home because like it was Friday night. I couldn't see the foot doctor or anything like that. And the ER doctor said, you're probably gonna have to get an MRI and all of that. So then on Monday, I'm calling to try to get into this podiatrist, and I tried to get into the podiatrist that my mom saw when she broke her ankle 9 years ago. And I thankfully was able to get into him, but I had to wait till, what day did I get in to see him? I did see him on Monday. They fit me in, and then he was like, well, you're gonna need to get an MRI. Why didn't, he kind of was like, did you get an MRI? And I'm like, no, I've been trying to ask if I could get one, but they wouldn't let me get one until I saw the podiatrist. So then I got the MRI on Tuesday. They fit me in. Okay, so you know how online you can look at like your chart, your doctor's information. So I was able to go online and see like my MRI results from the radiologist before I heard back from the doctor. And what was really interesting was the MRI, like I couldn't understand all the doctor jargon and all of that, but it looked like, from what he was saying, like my tendons all looked fine. It was like extensor tendon, which is the one that I cut, like is intact, blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, like getting kind of excited that maybe my foot was okay, but then I was like, that's kind of weird because I still can't move my big toe. Anyways, so then I'm calling to try to get the results from my doctor, and didn't hear back. I think it was on Wednesday. I didn't hear back until Thursday, and then, or Wednesday night, I go onto my online doctor's thing where I can read results and stuff again to see maybe there's something else on there, because I'm still waiting to hear back from the doctor. And then I see that my radiology report from the MRI had been amended, or it says an addendum was done, and then it said on there that, oh, actually the tendon is like 2.3 centimeters like retracted, blah blah blah, it's broken. So then I'm like, oh great, I'm gonna have to have surgery probably. And I went in to see the doctor on Thursday. They're like, yes, you're gonna probably have to have surgery. Let's get you in for a pre-op appointment. They really wanted to get me into surgery quickly, which was really nice, but you don't want to wait very long with a tendon that has been severed, because the tendon is kind of like a rubber band, and it retracts and can retract more the longer you wait. So I get into the pre-op appointment, and I talked to the doctor about like the radiology report, and he said, yeah, I had to tell the radiologist, you're looking in the wrong spot, you need to look again, which is kind of scary that they like missed it. And if my doctor hadn't been on it, like they would have been like, your foot is fine, and then I would have healed but not have healed. So all that to say, then I had the surgery on Friday in the afternoon at 2:00. I was definitely nervous. My anxiety over that week increased a lot more because it was all these unknowns, and surgery is just scary to me. Like it is scary to be put under, but I had been put under a few times in the past few years for the endoscopies I've had done, for the throat issues I've had, swallowing issues I've had, and then I have had surgery when I was like 19 for an ovarian cyst I had. So I've experienced that before, but I was like more worried about the pain afterwards. What is the pain going to be like after I've had a tendon reattached? Not really worried about the scars, like it's my foot, no one's going to be looking at my foot, but I'm just thinking about like the pain and all of that, and just discouraged about the amount of recovery time it's going to take to recover from this. But anyways, so I had the surgery. Everyone was great there. The hospital made me feel comfortable. I was definitely nervous, praying. But what was interesting, I was talking to the anesthesiologist like before my surgery, and he's like, we've all dropped a knife on our floor, so that's like crazy that happened to you. Like, tell me, have you ever dropped a knife on the floor while you're like emptying the dishwasher or cutting something up? Like, I know I have before, I'm pretty sure. So the fact that it fell on my foot in the spot where it cut a tendon is like kind of crazy that happened, So anyways, I realized in that moment that this is like a God ordained event. I mean, I was reminding myself before of that like nothing happens by chance, but then just talking to the anesthesiologist like reminded me that like, no, this is this is something that happened for a reason. Like, it's not just by chance, of course. We know that as believers, but there's a specific reason that this would happen, fall on that spot where it would be deep enough to sever a tendon and all of that. So I had the surgery done. Thankfully, the pain afterwards was not terrible, not as bad as what I expected. I definitely took what they gave me. Throughout this all, it's surprising to me. I've broken my arm before, and I was a child when that happened, so the pain difference maybe was worse because I was a kid, but I do feel like the pain with something like this is less than breaking a bone. I mean, it's still not fun, and your foot is kind of like a fragile part of your body, but it hasn't been terrible, thankfully. I did get behind on my pain meds one day, trying to space it out more and not take it as much, and I was crying the day before I got my cast, being like, I don't want to go in to get my cast. I don't want anybody touching my foot. So I got my cast. I had my surgery on Friday, went in to get my cast on Monday. And so I picked the color blue. I was posting on Instagram, what color should I get? I picked blue, thought it would match a lot of things. Of course, I'm thinking about what color should I get greatly, because I like fashion and I didn't want it to be an eyesore to have for how long I have to have this on. But getting the cast wasn't bad. I've never had a cast before. Even when I broke my arm, I didn't have a cast. I had something else. It was like a brace thing. And so I'm talking really fast, I guess, to share the whole story, but here's what going forward looks like. I've been staying at my parents' house for the last 2 weeks with my kids. It's been such a blessing to have them help take care of me. My mom even got up with me in the middle of the night for the first few nights to help make sure I was taking the meds and if I needed help with anything. So that's been a huge blessing. My mom's been fixing all the meals, and I'm very grateful to have family, because I know not every single mom has family when they go through something difficult like this that can help them, but I'm very thankful I do have family. And one challenge for me is my apartment. There's a lot of stairs there, and so I'm just not ready yet to be somewhere where there's a lot of stairs. It's going to make life a little bit more challenging, though I do miss my house a lot, and we'll look forward to when I am able to go home. So we'll just see when that happens. But going forward, I will have a cast for 6 weeks. So I'll have this blue one that I have on for 3 weeks, then I'll get my stitches taken off, then I'll get another cast for 3 weeks, and this whole time I'm non-weight bearing, which means I can't walk on it, I can't put any weight on it. And then after those 6 weeks of a cast, then I will have a boot, which means I can put weight on it, but you have to relearn how to walk. And from hearing from my mom, who had broke her ankle and had ankle surgery 9 years ago, it's a process of learning to re-walk, and it's painful and all of that. But I will have that boot, and I'll be able to start walking. I'll do physical therapy for probably about 6 weeks. So all of this total is about 3 months of recovery, which feels daunting, especially because a lot of my time over these few months is going to be sitting around because I can't do very much. It's crazy how much 2 feet makes a big difference in the world. But I know it's just for a short period of time. This isn't forever, though it kind of feels like forever, especially in the summer when just 2 weeks ago I was going outside every day. We were going to the beach and we were doing this and that, and you guys know I'm this is ironic that this would happen when I've changed my channel to my wellness health journey, sharing about getting healthier and all of that, and then I'm stuck to being somewhat of an invalid for the next 6 weeks. But God has a reason for it, and maybe it's to share a different perspective of a health journey of recovering from an illness, not an illness, but an injury, I guess is the right word, and sharing that on YouTube, encouraging, because I'm sure there's so many other people that have gone through something like this. Let me know. Have you broken a bone? Have you broken a tendon? Let me know in the comments. And just sharing the process of working through that. I don't know. I'm hoping I'll have a full recovery, but there's always that unpredictability of what if I can't ever fully move my toe and have a limp or something like that. I always think with my anxiety worst case scenarios, but I think I'm still young and I'm pretty healthy. I think I will heal fine. I'm gonna pray for that, but I will definitely try to share just kind of this journey. I had thought about vlogging when this and sharing little bits of the process leading up to the surgery and all of that, but I just felt like I was not in the headspace to film anything. When I'm going through something really hard, I do not want to film it. I just want to kind of get through it. And like I said, my anxiety was a lot higher. So I will try to, I'm sharing things on Instagram like daily, but I'll try to film more things here and there. I do want to share like the tools that are helping me function that I didn't even know I would need to have with hurting my ankle. So if you ever break your ankle or sever a tendon in your foot or do something, you will have a video, or other people have a video of things to get that you need to have to survive. But what I wanted to just kind of end on is like where I'm at spiritually. I have to admit to you guys, I feel like I'm in a phase, and even before this happened, like our faith is not something, at least for me, I'll say from my experience, that is like, you know, always like, I'm so strong in my faith in God. I feel like even before this, I felt like my faith was a little lower. And then with this, I felt like I was like questioning God, why would you allow this to happen to me? And then getting in that victim mindset of like, I'm a single mom, God, haven't I suffered enough, like with everything I've gone through, to have something like this happen? Like the why me thoughts, which I think are very common for a lot of us to feel, no matter what our life situation is, single mom or not, or whatever you've gone through in the past, to feel why me. And I'm not happy to say that was my first thought through this, and even just something still, you know, I'm thinking through, and even looking at pictures of me being active a few weeks ago, just feeling sad about that. But I think what has brought me the most comfort is just reminding myself that, like, I know as a believer, nothing happens by chance, that God has a reason for this, even though I don't understand it right now. There's a purpose for this, and so I can trust in God about that. And I know my faith will be stronger through this, and just reminding myself, like, I have been through times like this in the past, like when I was going through my separation for 3.5 years, and the uncertainty of knowing, will my marriage be restored or not, and having to take one day at a time when I had 2 little kids that I was trying to take care of on my own. I really had to take one day at a time. I did not know the future, and that's kind of like where I'm back at again, is taking one day at a time, not knowing the future, and not being so caught up in the future, but just focused on the day-to-day and trusting God with that. So that's kind of where I'm at, but I definitely want to increase in my faith in the Lord, and praise Him in the midst of the trials, in the midst of the storm, because I feel like I'm still reading through Psalms. I'm almost done with Psalms, but I feel somewhat of a disconnect with the Psalms that are talking about praise God for this, for that. It's like I'm struggling, God, right now with the praising. But I'm thankful that God meets us where we're at, and even when we are lacking faith, or we're lacking gratitude, or we're lacking praise of God, like He still loves us. He still is there for us, and His grace is there to cover our mistakes and not having the right heart and the right attitude. So I know that this will be something I'll look back on and see God's handiwork, because I have already seen God's provision for me financially. Like, I'm not going to be able to work for 3 months because I clean houses for a living. It's a very physical job. And God has taken off that stress off of my plate of worrying about finances, as I have received financial help from my church and from other believers in my church and in my community that have reached out to me and blessed me with financial gifts. And I've gotten cards and flowers from friends, and that has just been really encouraging to me. It's just so cool to see how God uses other believers to, you know, care for each other and provide for each other. And one thing else that struck me, and I was talking to my dad about this, is like, it's amazing how when we're there for other people in their difficult times, then they are there for us in our difficult times. And not that we help other people to, like, you know, have that so that, oh, if something happens to me, I want someone to be there for me. But I'm just amazed about that. It's just so encouraging to see friends be there for me, that I tried to be there for them during their trials or whatever they were going through. And it just blesses my heart to see people being so supportive and kind. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to try to get back into filming videos regularly, as far as I feel led to do it, because this is something I can do while I sit and rot on the couch. No, I'm just kidding. While I sit and heal. That's much more positive. sit and heal on the couch. I'll try to make more videos and update you guys on the process, but I would love and appreciate your prayers for full healing and just for increased faith in the Lord through this time. And yeah, I want to know as well if there's something difficult you're going through health-wise or just life-wise, and I can pray for you for that, and just love to share each other's burdens through this. Alrighty guys, this is kind of a long video, but that's what I wanted to share, and it's a one-take video. I think this is gonna be a one-take video, or no, am I gonna no, I'm gonna be able to edit this anyways. Alrighty guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.